All right, our last video, we're going to check whether x minus a is a factor of p of x. So how can you use the remainder and factor theorem to determine whether the given binomial is a factor of p of x? If it is a factor, write the polynomial in factored form. So what's kind of nice is if I were to say, hey, factor this right here, you would say, what? So we can check to see, is this binomial a factor of this polynomial? The way that we do that is we do synthetic division. And then I'll tell you, obviously, how to evaluate that answer. So in synthetic division, you want the a value, which this is x minus 6. We're going to use a positive 6 in the corner box there. We're going to write out the coefficients of our polynomial. We're going to look for any gaps. We have an x to the fourth, x cubed, x squared, x to the first, constant, so we don't have to have any zero placeholders. We write out those coefficients: 1, -8, 16, -23, -6, leave a space, and we can start our synthetic division. Carry your first term down. Now we multiply. 1 times 6 is 6. Add down. -8 plus 6 is -2. Multiply back to the 6. -2 times 6 is -12. Add down and we get 4. 4 times 6 is 24. We add down and you get a positive 1. 1 times 6 is 6, and you add down and you get a 0. Circle your 0 because that is your remainder. Now, if you get a 0 remainder when you do your synthetic division, that means that this is a factor of this polynomial right here. So p of x can be written in factored form by saying x minus 6 is one factor, and the other factor is what we got down here, this answer, which I kind of forgot to fill in. So let's go back to that. We've got our remainder. Work to the left. Here's your constant term. Here's your x to the first power. Here's your x squared. Here's your x cubed. So when we write that out, we're going to write x to the third power minus 2x squared plus 4x plus 1. So what we just did is we took our original polynomial and we just divided it down by an x minus 6. When we get that 0 remainder, that means that x minus 6 is a factor. So x minus 6 times this answer that we got, we can write in factored form. Okay, part B. We're going to do the same thing. We want to know if this binomial is a factor of this. So with our synthetic division, let's get, it says x plus 3. We're going to put a -3 in the corner box. We're going to write out the coefficients up here. We're looking for any gaps. We have an x to the fifth, and we skip to an x cubed. So we are missing an x to the fourth. I might just write in 0x to the fourth so I don't forget that's going to go there. X squared, x to the first, constant term. So when we write out our coefficients, we have a 1 with the x to the fifth. We have a 0 with the x to the fourth. We need a placeholder there or we will not get the right answer. Then we have a -5 with the x cubed, a 9 with your x squared, a -1 with the x, and a 3 constant term. Leave yourself some room. Let's go ahead and do our long division. And by long division, I meant synthetic division. So we start by carrying down our first term. Now we multiply to the corner. 1 times -3 is -3. Add down. 0 plus -3 is -3. Multiply back to the corner. We get a positive 9. Add down gives us 4. Multiply back to the corner. You get a -12. Add down and you get a -3. Multiply back to the corner. You get a positive 9. Add down and we get 8. Multiply back to the corner, you get a -24. Add down, and you get a -21. Circle that, identify it as the remainder. So what we just figured out, or what we just did, is we did our synthetic division. Does this polynomial divide by this evenly with no remainder? It does not. We had a remainder, which means that x plus 3 is not a factor of our p of x polynomial.